So in this video, we're gonna go through how to balance your camera on the Weebill S or any gimbal for that matter. So what we start with is it's important to take the lens cap off of your camera, as well as to make sure that when you're going to balance it, to have your viewfinder out if you're going to be using it. So I always have mine out when I'm filming, so this is kind of how I start. All we want to do is to make sure that that is connected kind of to part of the lens. So you can see the screw here, and all we want to do is screw that in. I prefer using a screwdriver for this because it makes everything so much easier. Now I have my mount attached to my gimbal. So what I like to do is I like to lock everything in the set stance. So you can see everything is locked in place. I'm not moving anything. It's all locked really like that. So the next step is to put the mount on. So there's a little button here. You can just press the button, wait till it attaches, and this screw on the side, you just make sure that it's unscrewed all the way when you're about to mount it. And then when you want to actually connect it, you need to screw that in, because if this button gets pushed by accident, and it's not screwed in, then you're gonna lose your camera. And it's quite expensive, the stuff that you have on these gimbals, so I would not suggest doing that. So there's 3 axes that you need to balance. So the first one will be this one, up and down, and then the next one is side to side, and then the final one is on the bottom here, which is just the all around rotating one, and we need to balance that as well. So the first one, I will unlock it, and you can see instantly that that went down. That is not balanced. Going forwards, we want to have it do the opposite. We want the balance to go backwards. So when I unhinge this, I'll show you here. When I unhinge this, I want this to go back. And you can see now, it's a little bit more balanced. So the one thing I was confused with when I was balancing is that I was like, oh, this is balanced. Like, it's not going back and forth automatically, it's staying still. There is an issue as well with this section, or not an issue, but this amount also has to be balanced, which plays a huge impact for this axis. So this little screw on the side of your gimbal here, you gotta make sure that that is unlocked after, and to make sure that it is balanced at the top. So, and it's going down, so I want it to go up more. And then that seems, it's going back. It's still going back, and you just gotta play around with it. You gotta get to know your gimbal pretty good here until it finally balances all the way. Now I've fiddled around with it enough, and now you can see anywhere it goes that this gimbal on this axis is now balanced. So we can lock that in place now. So that's locked. Now I unlock this side, which is way off balance as well. So there is a clip at the back of the gimbal, and you can click that, and all you have to do is start balancing. So I have it all the way on this side now, and you can see that it's going down, it's not balanced. So I'm just gonna go to the opposite side until I kind of feel like it's right. And then when I feel like it's right, I'll kind of almost lock it in all the way, just to make sure that I don't lose my positioning on what I need to do. I can see there, this axis is now balanced, nice and simple. So that's awesome. I have that in place now, so I will lock it. Essentially what we want to do is when this gimbal is kind of placed at this angle, we want to make sure that it doesn't move too much. So I've never had it where it's been perfectly even, but I just want it so when I move this, it's not doing this huge sway. So you can unhook this, and right now it is going to the left. So I'm going to push it all the way up. So now I have this, so you can see from before that this is now, when I tilt this, that it does not move nearly as much. So that's kind of all you have to do to balance this gimbal. Wherever I place this, it is now balanced. So you can try for yourself. Eventually you can get pretty good at this. I've been able to do it in about a minute. And then the last step to do is to turn on the gimbal. And once you turn on the gimbal, it gets all nice and organized. And then you can start playing around with it. So I would have made some more videos about how to use this gimbal and the modes of it. So if you want to watch that, you can click the video here. But otherwise, hope you balanced your gimbal properly and that this video was helpful. I want to help you out just like I would my brother. See you in the next video.